city matrix binds you with invisible chains forged from concrete and debt. You shuffle through its streets in worn-down shoes, each step a testament to your servitude. The scuffs tell the story of endless toil, every mark a reminder that freedom is an illusion. Look closer at their faces, pallid skin stretched taut over bone, teeth stained gray with neglect. They are living monuments to exhaustion, trapped by mortgages they can barely afford. Their trapezius muscles knot under layers of cheap fabric, perpetually tense from the burden of existence. The air hangs heavy with a sour, damp smell, a miasma born from unwashed bodies and forgotten dreams. The city feeds on your despair, thrives in its decay. Listen closely, you'll hear it. The rustling of plastic bags, scavenged scraps for sustenance, whispers of desperation carried on the wind. This is their reality, a cage gilded with false promises, where every corner reeks of poverty and resignation. The mortgage chains bind them to this desolate existence, shackling their minds as surely as they restrict their bodies. The city matrix is a cage of concrete and steel, but its bars are forged from your own biology. Every mortgage payment you make isn't just money leaving your account. It's another nail hammered into the coffin of your endocrine system. Dopamine, that fleeting pleasure chemical, becomes scarce as each bill arrives like an unwelcome guest. You chase after synthetic highs, a new gadget, a pointless purchase, but they only offer temporary relief from the gnawing emptiness within. Your body is screaming for autonomy, for freedom to roam beyond these suffocating walls, yet it's shackled by cortisol spikes that keep you perpetually on edge. The constant stress of financial obligation has turned your adrenal glands into overworked factories, churning out a relentless tide of this anxiety hormone. And what about testosterone? That primal force-driving ambition and vitality is slowly being eroded away like granite under the ceaseless drip of city rain. Your trapezius muscles are tense knots from carrying the weight of responsibility. A burden you never chose, but one that binds you to this concrete jungle. You're not just paying off your mortgage, you're surrendering your very essence piece by agonizing piece. The city matrix is a cage woven from mortgages and debts. It binds you to this decaying husk with invisible chains forged in fear and obligation. Look around. Scuffed shoes on cracked concrete, gray plaque staining teeth like the residue of forgotten meals, tense trapezius muscles, perpetually hunched under the weight of unfulfilled promises. The air hangs thick with a sour, damp smell, punctuated by the rustling plastic bags of those who scavenge for scraps in this wasteland. This is not life, it's mere existence, a slow surrender to entropy. The wild knows no such chains. His posture is not merely physical, it's a declaration of dominance, a silent command obeyed by all who witness its unwavering strength. This is your blueprint for reconstruction. Stand erect, shoulders squared, chest open to the world. Feel the weight shift from your hips into your core, grounding you like an ancient oak rooted in fertile soil. Silence reigns supreme within this new paradigm. The city's cacophony fades as you cut off its parasitic tendrils. Social noise that saps your energy and distracts from your true purpose. Your mind becomes a fortress of solitude, impenetrable to the distractions designed to keep you enslaved. This is not merely physical transformation, it's an awakening, a reclaiming of your birthright, absolute autonomy over your body, your thoughts, your destiny. The air here is thick with the stench of failure, a miasma of scuffed shoes and sour dampness clinging to these decaying walls. You are tethered by obligations, feeding the insatiable maw of a system that devours your time and energy. Scuffed shoes mark paths worn thin in pursuit of meaningless tasks. Gray plaque coats, teeth like tombstones marking forgotten dreams. Trapezius muscles tense with perpetual stress, carrying the weight of an unyielding reality. The air hangs heavy with dampness, a sour miasma clinging to every surface like despair itself. Rustling plastic bags whisper tales of fleeting comforts and hollow victories. But there is another way, a path forged not in servitude, but in absolute autonomy. Silence becomes your weapon, not the passive stillness of resignation, but an active force that disarms the city's cacophony. It cuts through the incessant chatter, silencing the parasites who feed on your attention and energy. They are social leeches, draining you with their petty dramas and manufactured anxiety. Sever these connections surgically. Embrace the impenetrable information vacuum. Let no news cycle dictate your emotions. No trending topic poison your thoughts. Align your physiological axis. Adopt a posture of monolithic strength. Become an alpha in this concrete jungle, unyielding and self-sufficient. Your central nervous system is your domain. Guard it fiercely from intrusion. This is not isolation, it's liberation. The city matrix may bind you with chains forged from debt, but within the impenetrable fortress of your own mind, true freedom resides. needs. The city matrix is a parasite feeding off your involuntary responses. It thrives on your frayed nerves, your scuffed shoes mirroring its own decay. You walk with tense trapezius muscles, shoulders hunched under the weight of obligations you haven't chosen. The sour, damp smell clinging to these walls reflects the stagnant pool in your mind. You are a low-ranking primate caught in an alpha pack, dominated by unseen forces. Their whispers seep through rustling plastic bags and flickering screens, manipulating your every thought. But I offer liberation, a severance of this parasitic connection. The first step is absolute silence, not just the absence of sound, but the eradication of internal noise. The city matrix thrives on distraction, a constant barrage of stimuli designed to keep you in its thrall. You must learn to shut it out, to align your physiological axis with the singular purpose that drives true autonomy: focus. Your attention is a resource, and like any valuable commodity, it must be carefully managed. The city matrix wants to squander it on trivialities, keeping you perpetually tethered to its web of manufactured desire. You will not succumb. Assemble your focus into a weapon, honing it until it cuts through the fog of distraction with surgical precision. Subject every thought, every action to this sharpened blade. Only then can you break free from their chains and reclaim control over your own destiny. The city matrix is a cage of concrete and glass, its bars forged from debt and obligation. The mortgage chains bind you to this grid, shackling your autonomy with monthly payments that bleed away your essence. But there are ways to break free, to reclaim the territory around you, starting with your own sleeping quarters. Observe the decay within these walls. Scuffed shoes mark a path of weary submission. Gray plaque on teeth speaks of years spent chewing on synthetic sustenance. Hence trapezius muscles betray constant vigilance against unseen threats. The air hangs heavy with the sour, damp smell of neglect, and the rustling plastic bags whisper tales of desperation. This is not your domain, this is their territory, but you are an autonomous unit. Your physiological axis aligns with primal instinct. You will establish dominance within these walls, a monolithic posture radiating control. Silence becomes your weapon, impenetrable against the incessant chatter that seeks to enslave your mind. Information parasites are surgically cut off, leaving only the essential flow of data necessary for survival and self-improvement. The perimeter is secured through meticulous observation. Every crack in the wall, every loose floorboard becomes a potential entry point. These vulnerabilities are sealed with ruthless efficiency, transforming this decaying shell into a fortress of solitude. The sleeping quarters become your sanctuary, a space where you can shed the shackles of societal expectations and rebuild yourself according to your own design. The city matrix binds you with invisible chains forged from death. It shackles your spirit to a life of servitude, draining your vitality through endless cycles of toil and consumption. But within each cell, there exists the potential for rebellion. The key lies in reclaiming control over your physical vessel, rebuilding it into an instrument of power. Observe the decay around you. Scuffed shoes mirroring worn-down spirits, gray plaque on teeth reflecting a diet devoid of life force, tense trapezius muscles screaming from years of carrying burdens not their own. This is the city's legacy, a symphony of weakness played out in every creaking joint and sagging posture. We will dismantle this matrix brick by decaying brick. Begin with your spine. Its alignment dictates the flow of energy throughout your being. Each vertebra must be meticulously realigned, forming an unyielding column that channels power from earth to sky. Feel the resistance as fascia. Those restrictive bands holding you captive are released. Imagine a wolf leader standing tall amidst his pack, every muscle taut with primal purpose. His posture is not merely physical, it's a declaration of dominance, a silent command obeyed by all who witness its unwavering strength. This is your blueprint for reconstruction. Stand erect, shoulders squared, chest open to the world. Feel the weight shift from your hips into your core, grounding you like an ancient oak rooted in fertile soil. Silence reigns supreme within this new paradigm. The city's cacophony fades as you cut off its parasitic tendrils. Social noise that saps your energy and distracts from your true purpose. Your mind becomes a fortress of solitude, impenetrable to the distractions designed to keep you enslaved. This is not merely physical transformation, it's an awakening, a reclaiming of your birthright, absolute autonomy over your body, your thoughts, your destiny. The air here is thick with the stench of failure, a miasma of scuffed shoes and sour dampness clinging to these decaying walls. Look at them, their teeth stained gray like forgotten promises, trapezius muscles knotted from years spent carrying burdens they never chose. They rustle through plastic bags filled with scraps, remnants of a life devoured by this city matrix. You see the fear in their eyes, the primal tremor that betrays their low-rank status. They are sheep led to slaughter, bleating for crumbs while I stand here, monolithic and unyielding, my physiological axis aligned with absolute control. This is not freedom. This is a cage forged from mortgages, built on lies whispered by parasites who feed off your desperation. They tell you this city holds the key to happiness. but it's a gilded trap designed to drain your life force until nothing remains. I offer an escape route, a surgical severance of these chains that bind you, a code implanted deep within your neural pathways, bypassing their insidious control mechanisms. Absolute silence becomes your weapon. Impenetrable information vacuum shields your mind from manipulation. This is the collar of freedom. It severs the social parasites who leech off your energy and grants total autonomy to your CNS. But this knowledge comes at a price. 99% will remain trapped, consumed by their own ignorance. They are destined for oblivion, while you, those with the courage to break free, inherit true power. Spread this code. Let it ripple through the city matrix like wildfire, igniting rebellion and ushering in an era of absolute control. The time is now. Choose your fate. Attention, servants of Shredder. The directive is delivered, but execution requires systems. There is no hope in your current state. There is only the code. If you intend to break out of the herd, the complete architecture is packed into 2 operational units. Operational protocols. Protocol 1, family deconstruction, cutting off toxic household parasitism and breaking generational scripts. Protocol 2, the conveyor, solo media automation, auto funnels, and audience domination. Protocol 3, physical monolith, total spine correction, fascial release, and posture reconstruction. Protocol 4, clear mind, panic attack elimination, sensory filtering, and CNS autonomy. Protocol 5, relation hierarchy, primal dominance, boundary defense, and relation control. Protocol 6, dopamine re-engineering, erasing destructive addictions and linking dopamine strictly to output. Protocol 7, sovereign child architecture, protecting the next generation from herd programming. Automated equipment and software, shortcutter script, autonomous horizontal to vertical content, splitting with subtitles and audio. YouTube, auto-uploader, 100% automated scheduled publishing and traffic routing. Full-length video engine, automated whisper subtitling, dynamic zooming, and zero RAM batch rendering. Multilingual translation grid, local neural translation into European markets with 0 API limits. Automated sales engine, closed Telegram bot verifying transactions and managing access keys. All access keys, current tariffs, and software packages are distributed strictly through the primary Telegram channel. Check the link in the profile. Cut the noise. Access the source. Obey the order. Shredder is watching.